Hey everyone, Clay from Brooklyn, Football with the Fellas. It's all about Big Blue. Here with another look at the upcoming preseason. I mean, training camp opens in 2 days. So we're really excited. Mazo and I are really excited about getting the veterans back in. The rookies are already in camp, and now the veterans show up on Wednesday. And we can't wait. But before we go any further, please take a minute and grab that subscribe button. As you know, Mazo and I are trying to grow the channel, and we are looking for passionate Giant fans like us. And I know you must be one or you wouldn't be here. So we want you to know when we put things out. So please grab that subscribe button and drop us a comment, like, share, all those good things so that we can keep you informed of when we're dropping new episodes. Okay, enough of that business. So let's talk about the defense this time. Last episode, I talked about the offense. I gave you some of my opinions on who I thought where I thought the key battles would be for playing time, and who I thought, might be able to earn a spot that maybe a lot of people weren't seeing coming. So now I'm going to try and do the same thing with defense. I'll start by saying I have two, I think, cut and/or trade, but probably cut candidates in DJ Jameson and Raheem Nunez-Roches. As much as we need big bodies on the interior, because obviously Dexter Lawrence can't play every snap, and those are two of the larger bodies we have other than Dexter Lawrence, I just don't think they're the answer. Nunez-Roches would save us a couple of $1 million on the salary cap, and we definitely could use that. Like we're like 31st in the league, in a 32-team league in salary cap space. So that's not good. So having another, $2.5 million or so net, or actually I think it's $3 million net if we release him would be a very good thing, or if we trade him. Now, DJ Davis is not going to save us a lot of money at all, but I just think that either he or Jordan Riley is not going to make the team this year. And from what I've heard and read, Jordan Riley looks like he's in really good shape and has really put in a lot of work and has improved his body. And they like what they've seen from him. And he is slightly cheaper than DJ Davidson, although I don't think that's going to be the reason that we keep him. But I think that we keep one of them, and it kind of doesn't matter to me which one, but I think it might be Riley. Okay, the starters. Obviously, Paulson Adebo is the cornerback we went out and signed. We expect him to be CB1. I have high hopes for him. I think he's going to be a very good player. Abdul Carter, we just drafted him 3rd overall. I'm not sure he starts week 1. I mean, maybe just out of respect for Kayvon Thibodeau, we let Kayvon Thibodeau play the first snap and therefore technically starts. But Abdul Carter is getting a lot of burn and very well may start and going to be an impact player from the beginning coming off the edge. Now, the other edge is Brian Burns, obviously a very good player who played hurt last year for a lot of the season and still had a very solid year. I think people are actually underrating Brian Burns now, which is fine with me. Very good player. Then the interior. So this is where I think Shane Bowen's going to earn his keep. As you've heard me say before, I really look forward to him using 3 interior defensive linemen a lot more often than he has in the past. He's been going with 2 interior defensive linemen like 80% of the time. And I just don't think we can do that. I think maybe 50-50, but we need to be able to stop the run. And I think the 3 interior defensive linemen not only is better at stopping the run, but it's better at setting Dexter Lawrence up to be blocked by one man. And one man can't block Dexter Lawrence. When you only use 2 interior defensive linemen, he gets double teamed every single play. But when you have 3 of them, he can't get double teamed every single play. And that's what you want. You want him to be able to dominate that one guy. Yeah, he can hold his own against 2 as well as anyone. I mean, he and Chris Jones are the 2 best nose tackles in football. And, arguably, Dexter Lawrence is the best nose tackle in football. Chris Jones moves, along the line of scrimmage a lot more often than Dexter does. In any event, yeah, he can do well against 2 blockers, but why do that? Why not give him the opportunity to have one-on-ones where he dominates? 3 interior defensive linemen do that. And which 3 do I think they'll be? I think surrounding Dexter Lawrence, starting will be Chauncey Golston and Jeremiah Ledbetter, 2 really nice offseason free agent signings that we got this year. I think Jeremiah Ledbetter is a very solid A'Shawn Robinson-esque not nose tackle, but defensive tackle as far as run stuffing. And that's what we need. We need somebody alongside Dexter, especially when there's only 2 defensive tackles, to help stop the run. But even when there's 3 of them, having that guy whose really main focus is to stop the run, to eat up the double teams, and to allow the linebackers to stay clean. Love that, and he's very good at that. Chauncey Golston is a solid chess piece. You can move him along from 5 tech to 3 tech to one tech on either side of the line. He can rush the passer. He's not bad against the run either. I think that's a very, key addition to the defense. I'm looking forward to seeing what he can provide. So I think that's going to be the starting interior defensive line. I think rookie Darius Alexander will get his share of snaps from day one, and certainly by midseason. Probably, we expect that he will get a lot of snaps and maybe even become the starter by midseason. That's okay. I'm less worried about who starts than how well they play, and I think Alexander's good for 25 or 30 snaps a game right from the giddy up and should be fine. I also really like Elijah Chapman. I know he's not very tall, but he's very strong, very high motor energy guy. Like him a lot. If this is our second string interior defensive line, Elijah Chapman, Jordan Rodgers, Darius Alexander, I think that's fine. I think we're going to be solid um, there, and it gives our starters some rest. Roy Robinson Harris and Elijah Chapman, I think, is a key battle this year. I think they're going to be battling for some playing time. I know we just signed Robinson Harris. He's 31, 32 years old, has had some very good success as an interior pass rusher in his career, maybe a little long in the tooth, and maybe we don't need that much interior pass rush when Dexter's on the field. We need instead that second or third interior defensive lineman to kind of stay at home and fill the lanes and make sure there's no draws and no screens, make sure the quarterback doesn't elude Dexter and then find a lane to run in. So Robinson Harris's skill set is nice to have, and I'm certainly happy to have him when Dexter's off the field. But I don't know how many plays a game we're going to need Robinson Harris to get after the quarterback, right? We already have the best trio of edge rushers in football in pass rushing, and we have the best nose tackle in football in pass rushing. So Robinson Harris, I think, is going to be at best second string and maybe even third string, and I'm fine with that. Elijah Garcia, Corey Durden, they're there for depth and injury purposes, right? If somebody gets hurt, they can step in, whatever. But continuing down the starters, I think another of the key battles this year is going to be a cornerback. The second boundary cornerback is going to be a toss-up between Tay Banks, Cordell Flott, and low-key maybe even Trey Hawkins battling out for that spot. But I think obviously Tay Banks has the inside track. He was a first-round pick. He's a great athlete. But as you've heard me say many times, he's not a great football player, especially against the run. The man does not like to hit, does not like to make tackles. Listen, this is his third year. He's going to be fighting for, as a first round pick for us to pick up his fifth year option at the end of this year. So this may be the best we see of him. We have seen of him so far. I hope so. I mean, I want him to succeed, but I'm not holding my breath. I just don't think his, physicality matches his athleticism. I think Cordell Flott might beat him out, quite honestly. Maybe even Trey Hawkins. But, I'm listing Tay Banks as the starter, and he certainly will walk into camp as the starter, and we'll see what happens. Javon Holland's great signing. He had a slightly down year at free safety last year, but I do believe he's a very, very good free safety, and he's going to help Tyler Nubin learn the position better. I was not a big fan of Tyler Nubin. I think he's overrated. Yes, he was second on the team in tackles, but he also made a lot of those tackles way downfield because he was too late to react to move up to make a tackle closer to the box. I think he gave up a lot of receptions because he was covering grass instead of receivers. You've heard me talk about that on episodes before. Did not love Tyler Nubin. He was okay as a rookie, but I didn't love him. I think Javon Holland can help make him a better player. Bobby Okereke, I'm a big fan of. I think he's going to have a bounce back year. I'm really not worried about him at all. He's going to be fine. I'm not thrilled with Micah McFadden. He's okay. He finds himself in the right place a lot. Gap responsibility is very good, gap integrity, but he misses too many tackles. He misses 15, 16, 18% of his tackles. That's not okay. And he's off the field in passing downs because he's not good in coverage. And this is a walk year for him too. So I think he's going to be trying to, pile up his stats and try to earn a salary with the Giants or someone next year. I get that. But I don't want to pay a lot of money next year for a linebacker who's only on the field for 2 downs and misses 15% of the tackles. That's not, if he keeps being that guy, then I don't want him back next year, at least not at starter money. I happen to think Deontay Johnson has a higher upside, if he's fully healthy. He had a really good preseason last year. He seems like a solid athlete who needs a shot at, to get enough reps to, he had 10 tackles week 18 last year. So I'm really excited about what he can bring given a full shot. Drew Phillips is a solid slot corner. Russell Wilson made him look pretty bad last year in the Steelers game. But other than that, he was a pretty solid slot cornerback. He was a good tackler against the run, decent in coverage, not great in coverage. So I think I like him there. And Dane Belton, I think he should be the fourth safety, to be honest. If he's your third safety, he's going to be on the field fairly often, and that concerns me. Yes, he's got a nose for the football. He's come up. I think he's led the Giants in interceptions in the last 2 years, which is scary because he's only got like five in the last 3 years, actually. But he also gives up a lot of receptions and he also misses a lot of tackles. So like, I'm not a big fan of Dane Belton, but yes, the ball does seem to find him a couple of times a year. But Makari Page is somebody who I think a lot of people are sleeping on, that safety out of Michigan, who I have a lot of hope for. I hope he gets his shot this summer and maybe even beats out Dane Belton for that third safety position. Again, three safeties are on the field often enough where it matters who that is. And I would rather it be someone better than Dane Belton. I think Makari Page can be that. So again, that's what I think we're looking like. Trey Hawkins, Thibodeau is going to be basically a part-time starter. Elijah Chapman, Jordan Riley, Darius Alexander at the beginning of the year, Tomon Fox, who I think is a solid fourth edge rusher. Raheem Lane, Darius Muasau, Anthony Johnson Jr., these guys are depth pieces that you really don't want on the field that often, but are solid enough, Jags, just another guy, defensive backs to fill out the roster with. But that's what I think. I want to know what you think. So hit me back, drop a comment, let me know what you think about my projections for who will start this year in the preseason and where the battles are for playing time. Because I think that's what this is going to be about. This next month is about figuring out which guys play and which guys don't, which guys make the team, which guys don't. So again, Clay from Brooklyn, football with the fellas. It's all about Big Blue, and I'm out.
Big shout out to El Marquis Productions, the talent behind the music and production here at Football with the Fellas. It's all about Big Blue. Their beats bring energy and excitement to every episode. El Marquis' skills in mixing, mastering, and creating top quality sound make the podcast come alive each week. For your own projects, check out elmarquisproductions.com and take your sound to the next level.